As a lifelong fan of hard rock and heavy metal, I'm very excited about today's guest. He had his first hit single way back in 1968 and went on to front bands such as Rainbow, Alcatrazz, Michael Schenker Group, and many others. Dennis and I had the great pleasure of hanging out with a true legend, and it's my honor to present the one and only Graham Bonnet.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I'm deaf. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a proper sinus infection, so I can't really hear anything on my left ear.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crap, isn't it? I mean, I've had this for about a month, and it's making me feel like crap. And I'm having a hard job breathing when I'm singing. You know, it's like sound like a freaking
yeah.
pig.
Yeah.
So we're recording right now, in fact. So I'm just we just did a middle part to one of the songs, and I said, "Oh, that's not right, is it?" And we're going to do. I've got a better idea. Well, we'll fix that anyway. Okay.
So what are you? So what is it? What is it you're recording right now? Is it for a new album?
Yeah,
Is it
we're
just a
doing the
single
album.
or?
And I was
Okay.
just out there just now doing the middle section to one of the songs, and the melody I have doesn't really fit with the melody that the chords that the guys are playing. And when I listened to it over my phone, it sounded right. And for some freaking reason, one of the notes doesn't fit. So I've just got to change that one note. One note
All right.
samba. Yeah.
You
That
can do
happens.
it. You
My
can do
hearing's
it.
crap. And sometimes I hear different things from other people or something.
All right. So how is it with you just released a new DVD that came out
Yeah.
like what is that, about a month ago?
Yeah, something like yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that all come about? You know, like releasing a DVD in 2025 is not something you see that often from artists
Record
these
company.
days.
Yeah.
Was it a request from the record company?
It kind of was, yeah.
Yeah. We had to, do something live to show people that I can actually sing and whatever. But we did it at the Whiskey, which is like, everybody knows the Whiskey. It's a tourist place now. But, it's a good place to play because everybody's played there. I played there with Michael Schenker, in fact, and Bruce Dickinson played there a while back. So it's not that bad a deal, but it turned out pretty well. I was not quite sure about how it sounded because I couldn't really tell because I'm deaf. And it sounds pretty good. I was really surprised how well it turned out. And a lot of people have got in touch with me to say how good the DVD is. I'm saying, really? The thing is, I'm so static because when it's on the stage, because it's so small, and of course, I've got nowhere to go. Oh, excuse me. It's one of
Don't
those.
apologize.
I spit some out at you.
I got my tea.
So I'm kind of standing there looking like I'm waiting for a bus, in some parts of it. So, but it's kind of okay. That's the way it was. I had nowhere to go because the stage is so small. There's nowhere to hide, and so I'm standing there. But the actual sound of it is pretty good. I wasn't excited about the photography so much, but it's okay. I mean, if other people think it's good, that's okay with me. You know.
I thought the like your vocals was super impressive
Oh, thank you.
on that dude. I really, I was actually surprised. I gotta admit, I hadn't checked your stuff out in a while,
Uh-huh.
and then I saw that this DVD came out, and I was like, okay, because nowadays a lot of classic rock singers, they get a lot of slack, like Vince Neil, David
Yeah.
Lee Roth, a lot of like Don Dokken. People are like, it's time to hang it up. And I was like, I wonder how Graham sounds. And I was like, God damn it, he sounds like he's always done.
Yeah.
Yes, pretty much. That's why this is bugging me like crazy because it's kind of running down my throat and it's like
Yeah,
Conrad says Conrad's engineering out there and he says I can hear you sound like a pig, so that's what I was going for. But
well, maybe
but,
this should be your opportunity to do like a grindcore album, like some death
exactly.
metal, something. Yeah, that'd be great.
Apart from that, it's going very well, and everything sounds. The tracks we put down so far sound pretty good, and the DVD is surprisingly good. You know, but
But
you can
there's
see what I'm saying. I was like standing there going, okay, picking my nose or whatever, wondering where I can go, but there was nowhere. When Bruce did that place, he had some little drums back in the corner, and he's like standing there, doing little bongo stuff because he couldn't go anywhere either. But it was a good night he had there, and most nights are good. That we did 3 nights with Michael Schenker, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did 3 nights with Michael Schenker, and it was a stage full of the other singers from the Schenker band. So it was interesting, but it
I
was
actually
good,
thought I
But
thought
that
it was
stage and that
great.
place was my favorite.
I thought it was really
Huh?
great the way that the DVD, as you said, you couldn't actually go anywhere, and it's not
Yeah,
like cut into a million frames and stuff. It's very much just like being at the
yeah,
concert, and the part it's not
yeah,
distracting. It actually adds to presence that it's a small stage. You're performing, the band's performing. You get a live experience. So that's what I took from it. I thought it was
yeah.
very intimate, and it actually lent
It,
more power to the overall product that you felt like you were at the show. Because when
yeah,
you're at a show, you can't fucking go anywhere either. If you go to the toilet, you might miss out on
no,
your favorite song, or
yeah,
So it's sort of like being a little bit in that spot in the audience. I thought it was fucking brilliant because
yeah.
I haven't seen a DVD like that in like 10, 20 years maybe. So yeah,
Well,
amazing.
I mean, it's
Yeah, no,
reality. Our
yeah.
keyboard player had a bit of an accident with his keyboards as well. I don't know if that's on the filming, is it? Do we know? Remember his keyboards went weird or something? Alessandro, what happened?
I'd rather
We're
not say
guitar players. We
anything.
wouldn't notice.
It was nothing drastic.
Somebody forgot how the song went.
Oh,
Made a
Oh,
big boo-boo, but we're not going to.
yeah. So anyway, it's for real. There's nothing fixed. No
Okay,
fake vocals
Graham,
there or anything.
Graham,
no, but
What?
mistakes are are
What?
are
don't get led down that path. Just
Yeah.
forget it.
No, I'm just saying it was all for real, and people after the show were very happy with what we did.
that's great.
I,
Yeah, I think
I,
because I think mistakes can add to the whole experience.
Oh
Like
yeah,
if I mean, one
real.
thing is to not be able to perform like well because you haven't rehearsed or whatever.
Yeah.
That's one thing, but like stuff happens, strings break, wires fall out. Yeah, and I think that kind of adds to the whole charm and the live experience.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
yeah.
dying to sit till
So we didn't fix anything. We didn't bring on stunt doubles or anything like that. I mean, it was good. It was good, and as I said, I was just surprised how well it came out. The sound, anyway.
It
I'm just
came out
very
really well.
conscious about myself standing there with my suit on and going, "Where am I going now?" That's just me.
I How was it recorded? Did you have like a portable studio thing set up, or like just a laptop, or how did you go about recording the live setting?
I'm not quite sure actually how we did
The
that.
whiskey's set up for doing that
It was
anyway.
yeah, it was
I was thinking just
stuff.
that.
I,
Hey?
That's what I was thinking
Yeah,
because I've seen like LA Guns did live stuff from the whiskey as well, and
yeah,
I've seen a few bands do it, and it always has like a really good result. So I was thinking maybe they have like a
yeah.
setup like some venues do.
yeah, they've always.
That's a
I mean,
good
for as long as I. What's the matter?
The sun keeps shining
I know,
light.
but you look better when it
No, can you pull up? I
rolls
can't.
down all its
That's it.
wrinkles and stuff.
Yeah, it's basically the club. Where's that sun coming from?
Hang on, I'm on.
It's that up there. No, I'm sorry, the sun is shining and
God,
whatever.
you are such a
Yeah, I'll tell you. Here we got like massive puddles of snow, and it's dark,
Yeah.
and it's like I'm in
Yeah.
Stockholm right now, and it's like minus 10 degrees.
Oh, fuck
So
it.
I would love a bit of sunshine in my eyes.
Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, it's been it's cold out there, though, you know. But the sun is out today, but we had a lot of rain. But that's by the way. But anyway, the DVD, yes, we've had some good comments on it, you know, from other people, and I'm very happy. And now we're doing this album. We have, I think, me and Con have done probably about 5 songs that are completed. Now we're
Yeah.
just waiting for our guests to come along and do their bit. Bruce
Is
Bruce
this
is on one track so far. Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah, that's
So,
done. That was done.
yeah, Bruce has done his bit on a song. I've got to do my part. He took like the last part of the song, and I have to take the first part, which is something I haven't done yet. But we have other guests coming along, which we're waiting for the final. Okay, you know one, you know,
Yeah.
which
But
is
is this the
they're very
is this the
well
one-
known and well, in the rock.
is
business.
this gonna be the album where you got Jeff Loomis on
No.
guitar?
The
No?
Jeff Loomis thing is completely a different thing. I started writing with Jeff Loomis almost 2 years ago, and I made up 7 or 8 songs with him, and then he decided that he was going to get the band together, you know, again. So I understand what he's doing, but he let me know that there's a possibility we would do something.
So
Yeah.
you're not the new singer in Nevermore.
No, no. Oh, you know, I mean, I hope that happens because I really love his playing and the way he puts songs
He's
together.
a monster.
Yeah.
You know, he does. Just a minute. I know where this song's from.
No, I think it's actually right.
Is it there?
No, look.
Oh yeah, is it? Yeah. No, it's not. What? Where is it? We're trying to kill the sun
It's
here.
black in the room. And
Oh, there you go. Sorry about that, but it's
No
real. God, I can't fucking see now. Yeah, so yeah, Bruce has done his bit very nicely, I must say. We were listening to it the other day, and I was going to do my bit, but we went on to another song, and that's what we're doing today, is something completely different. So I've got this part to do on the Bruce thing. He sounds fucking fantastic on it, he really does. And I'm very happy that he came along to say, oh, yeah, okay, I'll do it. You know, for free.
How is it with these projects? Like you had the single with Bumblefoot, and you got this thing with Bruce Dickinson coming. Are these people that you know? They're like friends, and it's like, hey, let's jam, let's create music. Sorry.
What did you say at the beginning? I missed the beginning
No.
bit.
No, I said, so you released a single with Bumblefoot, and you got this single coming with Bruce Dickinson, and you said there are other guests that are going to appear on the album.
Yeah.
Are all of these guests like friends, or is it people you admire or you heard about and you looked them up and you thought, well, this person, you know, he's a great guitarist, or this person is a great singer?
Yeah. No, they're both. One of them is my friend, and one of the other guys is the two of the other guys that aren't my friends, but they're well known within the rock genre, you know. And I can't really say anything yet until they've actually done their bit, you know. And then I can say who it is. but they're pretty well known. Yes, very well known.
I'd be
When,
I'd be
when,
really
when can we
surprised if. About
when can we expect this album to come out?
Well, probably. What do you think?
Summer, early summer,
Huh?
early summer.
Okay, so you're that close.
Early
I mean,
summer.
yeah,
Yeah, because I'm not quite sure. Okay, early summer. Yeah.
yeah, cool.
And that's excellent. Graham, I just wanted to show you a little thing. I don't know how big your screen is, but I was just going through my record collection and I found this thing. It's
Oh.
it yeah, so apparently this is a vinyl with the last show that had Yngwie
Yeah.
on guitar. So
Yeah.
it says live at the Country Club, March '84 in Los Angeles, last concert
Yeah.
with Yngwie. I thought
Yeah,
that
that
was
was Yeah.
that's a pretty
Because,
cool thing.
Yes, things happened that made Yngwie leave.
Yeah. But then you got
What's that?
Steve Vai in.
What's that?
I said, yeah, Yngwie left, but then you got Steve Vai.
I think you know the story about him trying to kill me and all that kind of thing.
What?
Yeah, it
No,
was,
I don't.
No,
yeah,
no.
he tried to kill me.
Go on.
What happened was, I told the story before, so it's been heard before.
Okay.
It's- so what happened was, it was time for his guitar solo, and I walked off stage, tripping over his cable for his guitar, and really just told the guitar solo. I didn't know this. It was in the dark. I had my dark glasses on. And I went out to the bus, and I was talking to the bus driver, and suddenly Yngwie runs out, grabs him by the throat, takes his thumbs, and starts digging in here, and said, "You fucking..." It was saying, "You tried to ruin my guitar solo." And one of our crew said, "Hey, Yngwie, leave him alone, otherwise I'm going to fucking kill you." He got hold of his neck, he got hold of Yngwie's head like this and said, "Don't move." And that night was the night Yngwie left the band. I don't know why.
I did not. So this was this guitar solo that you sabotaged for him. This what are the odds?
I mean, come on. He plugged in again, but he really thought I was trying to sabotage his bloody guitar. Never do that. Anybody, even if I really fucking hated them, it's part of the show.
No,
He tried to kill me. He could have throttled me. I mean, or ruined my whatever that's in my throat here. And
he's a big dude.
So that night in the bus, it was very quiet. And everybody staring at him and said, "Well, see you, Yngwie." You know. And then he went from our band to something much bigger. And who'd have thunk it? He became a big, you know.
But
was a good move.
after that incident, after your guitarist tried to kill you, and
Yeah.
you were on tour, right? So you had
Yeah.
to get a replacement really fast, and you
Yeah.
got Steve Vai in.
Yeah.
How did that work on such a short notice?
Well, one of somebody in the, I think it was Jan, I'm not quite sure, it was our drummer. He was friends with, I think he knew Frank Zappa or something. And he knew Steve from that link with Frank Zappa. I'm not quite sure, but I think it was him. It's one of the band that got in touch with Steve. And Steve came along and, yeah, I mean, it was that second album we made is my favorite with him playing, to be honest.
Yeah.
It really was. You know, because he was
It's a
so
great
different from Yngwie or Ritchie Blackmore or whatever. Yngwie was basically Ritchie Blackmore part two, you know.
Yeah.
Steve had a different way of, his approach was so unusual because of working with Frank Zappa. You know, everything was like, you know, what are we going to do in this? And so the songs didn't just go straight ahead, like, oh, here comes the chorus, you know, and here comes this. They went in different directions. There were different sections of the songs, which made it very interesting for me to make up, you know, words and, you know, melodies to. And
A lot of a lot of that second album, when you listen to it, it has these elements of like the song build up. A lot of it is not the straight rock format. You get more of that oh, that's a bit of a doo-wop thing going on here,
Yeah,
or you have
yeah,
like a classic Southern soul elements and stuff,
yeah,
where he seems like a broader pencil, like a broader like
Rush,
painting
Rush.
utility brush,
yeah,
like so it's very interesting, and I can see why you favor that album in ways because you yourself came from a different background than hard rock, so
yeah.
that must have been
Absolutely.
fun
I
to
mean,
like reconnect with somebody
yeah.
who was a little more open-minded in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, Steve didn't think it was right for the band. It's like I didn't feel right for Rainbow. When I went along there, I thought I can't. No, when I went for the audition for
Yeah.
Rainbow, and I thought when I went back home to London, when I was living in London, I said to my manager, "I don't think I'm right for this band." And Steve was feeling the same way. He was saying, "I can't play like Yngwie," even though when we played with Steve, he was doing all the Yngwie stuff anyway. I said, "No,
Yeah.
you play like Steve Vai. You play like
Yeah.
you." And I sing like me, and everybody, Ritchie, when I went for my audition, it was great. They thought I was good and all that, but they didn't. Ritchie didn't like my hair, so that was one thing that was a joke that's been going on for
There's
years.
always something.
Yeah, always. But if it's my fucking, what do you want, my hair or my fucking voice? So
Yeah.
where's my hair? Because Ritchie didn't have any at the time. Well, he still doesn't. But I mean, good for him. I mean, it's just the way it is. He's had a bit of a thing about people with hair because
Yeah. Okay.
he had extensions and all that stuff, and somebody came out to screw his hair on for him once in a while from LA. And I'm not being horrible to Richie, but you shouldn't grow up.
Yeah.
And hey,
I thought it reminds me, I actually thought it was kind of cool when Joe Lynn Turner just decided to
yeah,
go full bald and
Yeah.
just say, yeah,
absolutely.
I thought that
As soon
was,
as I saw
and
that, yeah, as soon as I saw that, I wrote to him, and he wrote back and said, "Oh God, Graham, I love you. Nobody said a thing about this." I said, "You're very brave, and my God, you look great. And he does. He looks fantastic. I said, "You're a singer. Don't worry about your fucking bald head. Yeah,
Yeah.
the years he's been using wigs to satisfy himself and the band, visual with Ritchie. He, I remember there's a girlfriend of mine in Brazil. She said when she met him, he kept saying to her, "Run your fingers through my hair." And she did, and she said he has lovely hair, and I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything about it. But when he did that, I think that was a moment of bravery and just showing him, showing the world who he
Yeah.
really is. And
Yeah.
we played together recently, and not so long ago we played together with my band, and it's been fantastic. I love the guy. I really like him, and I think he's done a great thing for those people who don't have any fucking hair.
It's funny
well,
with
yeah,
Joel Turner because I was now visualizing him when you mentioned him, Thomas. The first visualization of Joel Turner to me was bald because
Yeah,
it just seems so natural to see him bald now. I
yeah,
can barely remember what he looked like with hair. That
yeah,
was just my first vision of him. Internal vision was, oh yeah, Joel Turner, the bald guy.
yeah. I know.
So
I
yeah.
yeah,
mean, when we played with Joe, it didn't wear a wig, and nobody said, "Oh bloody hell," nobody said
yeah,
anything. That's who he is,
Yeah.
and he's so brave to do that. As I keep saying, but I really think he's a great guy, and he's a great singer, and a great performer. And
yeah.
fuck the bald head thing. But it took a while for him to get over that because of, I think it might have been Richie a little bit because of his
Well,
hair.
I think it's my time now to finally reveal that.
Oh no!
Oh no, it's actually stuck.
Yeah, I actually
Sorry.
I used to have long hair down to my waistline,
Yeah,
and around I think it was like early to mid 20s,
yeah,
it was starting to thin out a bit, and I was trying to
yeah,
convince myself all the time that it'll grow fuller. And then one day I heard two kids whisper to each other, and they go, "He's got McDonald's," and I'm like, "What's McDonald's?" And it was the M, like the curls. I'm like, Yeah.
Oh, fucking
You
shit.
I was
know,
like, that's just embarrassing. So I just went home. I went home. I shaved the whole damn thing off.
Yeah.
Then 2 days. And here's the thing. So I had, had a thick set of hair, like head of hair, my
Yeah.
entire life. So I never thought about stuff like, sunburns and that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. So 2 days after I shaved the hair off, I was going on Sweden Rock Festival, actually with
Yeah.
Dennis.
yeah,
And
I was there.
the first day I was there, my head got fried into oblivion. I
Oh,
mean,
God.
I had big like wounds on my head, and like pus was running down, and I was just in a furious mood.
Oh,
And
man.
it was terrible. So I learned my lesson the hard way. But yeah, I
Those
yeah.
fucking terrified little Swedish drunks that fell into your tent every 5 minutes, and you come storming out.
Yeah,
It was fucking hilarious.
They both
I
wear
got
hats, don't they?
yeah. I had gotten into
Angry Bird Viking.
I had gotten into my tent, and I was trying to sleep, and it was early in the morning, and I could hear some people scuttling around outside my tent, and Dennis was one of them. And then I hear Dennis say, "I wouldn't do that if I were you."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then somebody just shakes my tent, and I just like in my undies just storm out of the tent. I'm like, oh. And Dennis, he didn't even dare to say anything. He just pointed. He go like that way, and I just ran after this dude, and I just like bam, and I went back to sleep. Got up
If
2
I'd had
hours later.
popcorn, that would have been perfect.
Those
Yeah,
were
well,
the days.
my hair is getting thin. It's falling out every freaking day, and it's grey, of course. But, I'm 78 years old now. What do I expect? Fucking hair to like fucking Michael Jackson or something, Michael
Well,
Jackson,
he wore wigs too.
yeah, he was
Yeah,
completely bald when they did the autopsy.
yeah.
He was always wearing a wig. Well, you could tell, kind of thing. But I mean, it's that's just the way we're built. We're humans.
Yeah.
Hair falls out, you lose it, whatever the fuck, and you lose your energy, etc., and your voice in some cases.
Yeah,
But
and apparently
talking
when it's
about
winter, we all get sick. It's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like now. I mean,
oh, fuck.
hey, woman now. Am I talking through my nose? It's like, oh, God, I can really hear it here. You know what I mean? I can hear my head
yeah.
voice, and I wish I shut up. All right, I'm
Yeah,
shut up.
I feel like I got a constant ocean breeze in my left
Yes.
ear. It's like
Don't you have that for a long time? Had that for a long
uh,
time?
I've had it now for about 3 or 4 days, and it's gotten
Oh, that's
gradually
good.
worse. Like it's moving. I can feel like it's moving out so like half of my face is kind of sore.
Oh,
Was it a
But
constant? Was it a
no,
constant?
it's just a con.
Oh,
It's more like a constant. It's like a breeze, like a static noise, just like
you can
yeah.
hear the ocean. That's very.
Yeah, or maybe I'm just picking up alien radio waves.
Ah, when I take my hearing aids out at night when I'm in bed, the that one side of my head, the left side where the tinnitus is, or tinnitus, whatever you want to call it, I hear a different sound along with the ee. It's like a low frequency thing, and it's really weird. It's almost like a heartbeat, and it's annoying. And sometimes, if you think about it and concentrate on it, it gets louder. Because you're thinking about it. But
could it
now,
actually be your heartbeat?
I can't hear it. You know what I mean. If you think about it, it's going to be
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
absolutely.
That's fine. Yeah.
So I was just thinking, like we're talking about like we're talking about hair and appearance and all this stuff. So throughout most of your career, you've had a very sort of defined look.
Yeah.
Was that a conscious decision, or did it just sort of evolve into what it became, and then it just stuck with you?
Yeah, well, what happened? The originator of my hair, I think, was my ex-wife from years ago, and I was in the studio and my hair was long, right down my back. I was like Francis Rossi from Status Quo, you know. He's put a single out. I noticed today. I saw that. Francis, I spoke to him a little while ago, and I was always going like, doing this, and she said, "Well, why don't you have your hair cut?" So it got shorter and shorter and shorter, and at that time in London, there was the punk thing was going on. And so I thought, well, okay, I like that look, but I don't want to go that far. So what I did, being a 1950s freak about movies and the music from the 1950s, I thought, well, what I'll do is do a 1950s look for myself, because I'd had enough of the long hair, because it was getting me down, after somebody telling me, why you just cut it? Yeah, okay. And so what I did was I went to a tailor in London, and he was on not Savile Row, I don't think, but it was high class tailor, and he was doing suits and whatever for sort of rock stars, etc. And he had material left over from a guy called Bobby Darin, hold the shot.
Yeah,
Oh, him.
Oh.
And he said to me, "You're looking to make a suit real 1950s style." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, this is from the 1950s." And it was Bobby Darin's material that he never had a suit made of. And I said, "Yeah, that'd be great." And he made me a suit out of it, which was kind of cool. And then one of my friends, who's a tailor also, who works for Levi's, he said, "Well, let's make you some shirts with the cuffs more narrow than they are now. The 1950s cuffs in your shirts." So it became like a developing thingy, and then the tie and the blah, blah, blahs. But it became a 1950s image sort of thing. So I was wearing like the freaking flowered shirts and all that stuff, the beach shirts, bowling shirts, etc., and suits. So it became sort of a standard thing that I did every day. I always put Brill cream on my hair, that kind of thing. And when I joined Rainbow, I remember Cozy saying to me, "Are you going to get rid of that fucking Brill?" Yeah, the fucking Brill. I washed my hair, but still combed it back. He said, "That's it. That's the look." And he said, "Don't listen to whatever Ritchie says. Says, you look fucking good." I said, "Oh, thanks, Cozy."
That's the fucking great thing about it. You look like a fucking tough guy coming directly from the office, being pissed off as fuck, just wanting to beat somebody to death. You had that. You still do, and that's the thing I want to commend you on. I told you this before, that we have you, we have Alice Cooper, we have Iggy Pop, the constants. You've always looked in this specific way. You never changed as a fan of the music, and as a fan who's been around for like 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
I remember you guys as being the same person at all times. There's been no little weird periods where somebody just got hair dye or put on spacey suits or anything like that. It's been the same, So there's a really lovely feeling of continuity to it, and also it goes directly to my own nostalgia, I guess. But it's fucking amazing to see that. There's you three guys, possibly a few more, but that's the three I think about. It's Graham Bonnet, it's Alice Cooper, and it's Iggy Pop. And they've always been the same guy, and they sound the same still. That's just a compliment that I want to give you. It's something I value greatly in this ever-changing cesspool of a world we're living in. So thank you for that.
Alice Cooper with a fucking haircut. It look weird. It looked very strange.
Exactly.
It's something that is part of your personality. I mean, I'm not doing it. I'm not faking this. This is what I like to look like, I guess. And
Precisely.
I was, seeing, Francis Rossi from Quo. He had a terrible thing about hair, and when it started to fall out, he got really embarrassed about it. And he said, "What you do when your hair is falling out, you rub your nails together like this, and it will help your hair to grow." And okay,
Massage it.
it didn't work for him, and I don't think it works for anybody. But I saw that he released a single today, and his typical Status Quo. He's still great, and I love Status Quo. I really did. And it's just him left now, and John. Yeah, just the two of them. It's kind of sad because they're all my friends, and they played on some of my tracks. and I recorded
Yeah.
at Rick's house, Rick Parfitt's house.
Oh, is Francis Rossi one of the guys that's going to be on your new album?
Ah, ooh, I never even thought of that.
Mm.
Francis on our new album. Do you know, that might be, I tell you what though, I know he's like, nah, don't, nah. I can hear him now. Nah, don't, nah. When I was on the phone with him, I said, how about you coming along to one of our gigs and doing the beginning of, the song Night Games, diddling, ding, diddle, 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 on that sitar, the electric sitar.
Yeah.
I said, why don't you come along and play that? Because he did. That's him on the album, on the record. And
Okay.
yeah, and I did it at Rick's house. So Rick's playing on there as well. And I think, who was playing? Don Airy played keyboards, I think, or was it? No, it might have been John Lord. But, of course, Cozy on drums. But Francis goes, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, it sounds good, but, I understand. Because he's doing his own thing and, he doesn't want to be like a hired, what can I call it? But you know what I mean? It's Francis Rossi. I don't want to be something that is like what can I call that? A standout, a part of a promotion to the band. What do you say, Bethany?
I'd be lying if I said I was listening to you.
Like sort of a golden goose you hold. Behold, we have a Francis Rossi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just spaced out.
Yeah. Anyway, so Francis now he looks like me. I mean, he does. He's got his hair combed back. He looks just like me. And in fact, when I had long hair down to my waist-ish, and he had long hair still, I was mistaken for being him, which is strange. Because we had the same manager in London, and so we always were walking out of the same office. Oh, Francis. No, it's not. No, Francis isn't here. Yeah. Anyway, that's it.
That's your brother from another mother.
Yeah, I mean, we're all there. Rick was always. I mean, he would always be in the pub just near the office, and there was an after-hours drinking time at one of these places that Rick used to go to. So after I'd been to the office, we'd often go down there. Francis wouldn't join us because he didn't like to drink too much, but Rick was a good friend. Boozing partner, I guess. But to lose him was fucking hell. Everybody's just dying all of a sudden. And then Alan Lancaster, the bass player, because I stayed with Alan when I lived in Australia for a while. Yeah, it was, just two. So as I said, Francis is like doing his own talking, tour or something, so he's in a different world right now. But I might ask him again,
So I was wondering, you've been a part of some of the most important decades in the music scene, like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. I don't know. We can argue how important the 90s were. But I just mean you've been consistently creating music. What was like in '68 you put out your first single with Marbles?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And since then you've just, kept on going. Do you is there like a decade that you would say that is there a specific decade where you feel like that was something truly special for music, like being a part of it, seeing it from the inside?
What are you talking about way back then?
Well, in general, I'm just saying if whether it was the 60s or the 80s or current time right now, do you feel, because I can imagine the whole way of creating music and working together with other artists and touring and all that stuff has changed so significantly. Yeah. So nowadays it might be a different thing.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be talking to you if I hadn't joined Rainbow, which I thought I was completely wrong for. When I went for the audition, they gave me the job, I know, but I went back to London and I said to my manager, I don't think I'm right for this band. I mean, I'd never sung this kind of music before. because it was also grand and, semi-classical kind of thing to it, with the whole thing. And I thought, well, how am I going to fit into this? And when me and Roger Glover got together and started recording, it was, hey, this ain't bad. I like this music. And I didn't realize I would like it because, to be honest, I was never a Deep Purple fan. And I knew that Ritchie was the guitar player from Deep Purple. And when I heard the Rainbow stuff with Ronnie Dio singing, I wasn't sure about that either. I thought, well, I don't know. Is that, So I learned, a song called Mistreated, and that was my audition piece. And they said, well, the job is yours. Have I told you the story about that?
No.
Oh, well, I went across to Switzerland. I went to Switzerland. Yeah, anyway, I went over there to Switzerland.
Got some cheese and chocolates.
Actually, to this chateau where they were recording Rainbow. And I went into the rehearsal room, which was a grand, big room with high ceiling and the whole thing. And, a balcony. And this building was so bloody old, almost as old as me. And what I did, because I thought I would cock up this Mistreated song, the microphone was in the middle of the floor there, and I just walked away from it and sang it in the middle of the room instead of on microphone. And I sang the song while they were playing with all the fucking marshals and shit and cozy going away there. And they started to they looked at each other and what? They started going, and then they started laughing. I said, what is it? And so, well, we can hear you. I'm singing. A microphone? Oh, that's what that is. It was like that. I said, yeah, well, I didn't want to mess the song up. And so well, let's do it again. So we did it again, off microphone again. And so I did the same thing, acoustically, and no microphone. And they were just shaking their heads. They're like, you're the guy. You're the one. You're the guy. And then Don Airy said to me, Graham, could you go on the microphone this time, just for a laugh? Okay. So I sang it on microphone. And I know Bethany's heard this story a million times over. I sang it on the microphone, and as I did that, the rest of the troupe that were with us on that tour, on that play in that place, there was suddenly the balcony up top there. There were girlfriends and some of the road crew, and they all looked down at me and went. They were nodding their heads and smiling, and I knew I'd really made it if I could get it with them. If they could get a bit of a rise from me. They were smiling and happy. And I was told afterwards they'd auditioned 80 guys to do this job, which was like, what? Only 80? So, as I said, I went back to London. I wasn't really sure I should do this gig, but my manager told me to go back to the chateau. And so we started recording there, and it wasn't working. In this funny building, this old crumbling chateau. And Roger said, well, I know what we should do is go to a real recording studio. And that's what we did. We moved to Syosset on the East Coast of the States. And we started recording all the vocals there. And Ritchie would come and see us as well. He lived in Hempstead in Long Island. So he would come down every other day and do his bit too. Because he lived in America and the other guys didn't. And I didn't at the time. But, so we did all that, the vocals, mainly, all there now I think about it. So that was much better for me. So me and Roger would go through an idea for a song, and Roger would say, here's a melody. He wrote all the words to everything on the album. He said, here's a melody, do this, and then we'll take it where you like, So it's basically like an ad-lib, if you will. And so that's what I did, just sort of ad-lib stuff. And so on the album, basically those melodies are mine. But I was never credited for it, and I never thought I should be. But now I think about it, I was a songwriter. Bloody hell. I remember Roger in an interview said they were praising Roger's songwriting or something and the production of the album. And he said, well, yeah, but also it was Graham that really helped. So he realized that I was. He didn't tell me what was happening. He didn't say, you should get money for this.
It's
I not in that respect, not really big checks, but I've had some checks, royalties that have come in from years ago or whatever, from all kinds of record sales and stuff like that. But I never got my credit on the album, which I should have done. I never even thought about it because being a solo singer, I never really worried about who's written what or whatever, because I take songs from all over the place, write a couple of my own. And, I never thought about me actually being on the Rainbow album, vocals by Graham Bonnet, yoo-hoo, and vocals and melodies by Graham Bonnet, whatever. But me and Roger really put it together ourselves. So that's where the tunes came from. And I'm very proud of that because Roger really helped me immensely to get the feel of the songs, So he was singing it really roughly, and then he said, do it your way. So I did. That was it.
It seems like the whole thing with credits is the never-ending issue with a lot of bands and artists. I recently I think like 3 days ago, I saw an interview with Gene Simmons, who was bashing Peter Criss because Peter Criss claims that he was one of the main writers for Beth, the big hit, and Gene in 2026 is still going on about like how Peter Criss didn't write anything on that song and he's not a songwriter and he doesn't play instruments and blah blah blah. And I'm like, get over it, guys.
Oh
yeah, they claim that Peter Criss doesn't play instrument because the drums aren't an instrument. It's it's percussion.
No.
So and I'm like, oh God, and. Again, you see it all the time with credits. Some bands they still argue about it. These a bunch of musicians that work with Ozzy as well over the years, who's been really disgruntled about not getting the credits they deserve.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't bother me now, but it did. Sort of when somebody mentioned to me like, didn't you get credits for that? What do you mean? You were
I can see how that would bother somebody if it was like, for example, okay, so I didn't actually hold on to this thing that I actually did, and it's now worth £80,000. It's like,
I know. I mean,
that might actually be an issue for me too.
God knows how much money I actually made. I don't know. I mean, when I was with Rainbow, Ronnie Dio said this. I asked him, I said, "What did you get much money from Rainbow?" He said, "Fuck all." That's what I got too. When Ronnie left to do his own thing, I saw him quite a bit, and because we're managed by his wife, so to speak, Wendy Dio, and it was like, you're kidding me. And because I saw nothing from the Rainbow tours, zip, nothing at all. Mm-hmm. Nothing. Until years later, Ritchie was going through his dressing table or something, and he found this check in the drawer, and it was for me. But it was signed out to my manager. And so I had a call from, I don't know who it was, somebody called me from the office, from Thames Towns, I think, and they said, "We have a check for you, Graham, and it's a lot of money." And it was a good amount. And so I said, "Oh, really?" And Don Airy got in touch with me as well. And he said, "Do you know how much you got?" No. I said, "Well, it's supposed to go to your manager." And really, that's where all my money's been going. They signed out checks or whatever to my manager, not to me. So it's going to the office with, the good faith of my manager actually giving me some of the fucking money I made, but nothing.
Managers seems to be some sneaky bastards too.
Yeah.
I remember, wasn't it your old guitarist Yngwie when he was in the hospital, where his manager basically ripped him off for everything he had. So when he got signed out of the hospital, he had no money left. I think it was something like that. And you just, I'm thinking as a manager, how would you're basically working to promote this guy, and you're just destroying him even more. It's terrible. Like, don't you have a conscience?
I know. It's the weirdest thing, isn't it? Because it's like they love you, but they want to be you almost, So
Yeah.
it's almost like that. That sounds weird, but it is. It's almost like they want to be you. If only I could do what he's doing, but he's my puppet. So he can go out there and do his, he's singing, and I can live, vicariously through him, That's the right word, I think.
It's sort of like that weird parent, like a beauty pageant, American beauty pageant contest with little girls being
Yes.
forced to like perform.
Yep.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's
I
like
have
Yeah.
it is like that. But
I have a wonderful little ray of sunshine of a story now that we're speaking about old royalty checks popping up. Because yesterday I got an email from a record label that I released an album on, I think like 21 years ago. That said, I just found out I have a check for you for $110.
Oh, bloody hell.
So dreams do come true.
Yes.
That's why I was laughing so hard at the whole thing with it.
So now Dennis can find.
When I heard Ronnie say, I made bugger all. I didn't get anything. Not even, money to live on or whatever. So from all the gigs he did, he probably got something, but not what he should have got, because Rainbow didn't play to like 12 people. It was like,
No, it's a big deal.
80,000 or whatever the hell, every night.
Well, I've also like seen the stories about labels and managements paying out ridiculous amounts of spending money to their artists. So, and they're just, living the life and thinking like, oh man, I got all the money in the world. And then at some point it's like, well, time to pay back. This was just up front. And they like, what? And it's like, yeah, I've been touring for 2 years straight and I'm still in debt.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I know. And what do you get? Nothing. I remember Ronnie, when it was his birthday, there was a car standing out in the driveway, and Wendy said to him, you got a birthday present. And this car was out there with a big ribbon tied around it. And I went, wow, a Mercedes, or whatever it was. And he said, I've never owned a car before. And Wendy said, you still don't. Because, it's not yours. Yeah. And that's a bit like Rich. Now, Ritchie Blackmore, that was another thing from our Ritchie's manager, Bruce Payne. Ritchie had a nice house on Long Island. It was really beautiful. And Ritchie said, well, when Bruce Payne was there in the room, he said, well, I'm glad I've got my house. And Bruce Payne says, it's not your house, it's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's what it was like with me, with my own personal manager in London. He took, he made an extension on his house, which is very nice. And while I was living in an apartment in London, So, blah, blah, blah.
I just there was one question I wanted to ask you earlier, and I forgot about it. It's about an album you were on. So in '88, you got together with Chris Impellitteri, and you did what was Last in Line?
Stand in Line.
Stand in Line. Yeah, that's true.
That's funny.
How did that come about?
Well, Chris had heard that I'd split up with Rainbow or something. What band was I in before Chris? Was that?
It must have been Michael Schenker, right?
Oh yeah. I went. It was Michael Schenker first, wasn't it? Before Chris.
Or No, you had the Danny Johnson album with Alcatrazz.
Yeah. What happened was my band split up, and Chris called me and said, "I've heard the band has split up. My name is Chris Impellitteri." I said, "What? What's your name?" Chris Impellitteri. What kind of a fucking name is that? Come on.
So it's Impellitteri. I thought it was Impellitteri.
Do you know something? He's been on the phone today, this very morning. Yeah.
Really?
I'm going to do a show with him on the 21st.
January 21st.
The 21st of this month. I'm going to go
Yeah.
up and do
Okay.
the song
Oh,
"Stand
that's
in Line,"
cool.
that song, and of course, "Since You've Been Gone,"
Yeah.
surprise, surprise, just two songs. And so we're
Nice.
doing that. And yeah, well, he called me up and I didn't know who the hell he was. And he said, "Would you like to come over to my house and just listen to what I've got, what kind of songs I'm putting together?" I said, "Sure." So I did that. And then he came over to my house and we worked on songs. The first one being Stand in Line, that song. And I remember sitting outside with a big bottle of wine and going, "Ooh, what can I write?" And it came to me after about half of the bottle was gone. So I was so relaxed, I thought of a great idea. And that lyric to that particular song, I think, is really quite good. When I look at it now, it's really a nice story. And it tells the story of a guy who's going out to, be Mr. Wonderful, standing at the station waiting for the train in front of the cigarette vendor, slicking back his hair, looking at the machine, reflecting like a mirror. I mean, I know all the words. And I thought, oh, that's a good line. And the whole song, I think, is pretty well written lyrically, and I'm really proud of that. Playing is amazing, absolutely amazing. Chris is just a lunatic on guitar. He really is
Yeah.
incredible.
It's really interesting from like me and Thomas being guitar players, looking at your legacy, which is basically you're sort of like a magnet to incredible guitar players. Like you had Ritchie Blackmore, Michael Schenker, Yngwie Malmsteen, Steve Vai, Chris Incaviteri, like all these incredible. Now Jeff Loomis. It's like I think you're doing this, maybe not consciously, but I think a lot of guitar players get drawn to, we want a piece of the Graham Bonnet magic, because it worked for Richie, it worked for Steve, like could be something like that. But it's interesting that so many great guitar players have just sort of like, I was about to say flies on a shit. That's not what I meant. But like it's sort of like you have a magnetism for like insane guitar players just wanting to get a piece of you.
Yeah, I am a magnet. Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I've written a song about that. No. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, no, actually, I've written a song called, what are we calling it now, Bethany?
Breaker.
Circuit Breaker. Now, what happens with me, it's got nothing to do with bloody what musically. It's what happens to me. I go into an elevator, I press the button, and nothing happens. And somebody will get into the same elevator with me, press the same button I did, and the elevator moves. I press it, then when I'm upstairs and wherever I went to, press it again, and nothing happens. Somebody else will come into the elevator, press the button, and it works for them. For me, I'm a circuit breaker. And I don't know what happens, but so they say it's in your mind, blah, 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 whatever. How fat your finger is, it could be anything. But it's like I'm going, nothing. And Bethany's often said to me, you don't have to bash the phone to death, to give it to me. Oh, okay. And that's the thing, doesn't it?
Yep.
She's seen me hitting the telephone because it's not working for me. So I am a circuit breaker. I break the circuit. But what we're talking about, I've forgotten now.
I'm staring at my remote control right now, thinking I might be a circuit breaker too, because I can never get that damn thing to work.
Does that happen with you? And you go, yeah. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
so annoying.
yeah.
I mean, in the old days, when we didn't have a remote control, you just go up to the TV and bash it on the head,
You
Oh,
bash
that
it
was
on the
working.
side and it works again. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. But Chris is, it's going to be really nice to actually do this show with him. And, oh, bless you, my darling. That was
Gesundheit.
definitely sneezing. Yeah,
Oh
man.
shit.
Yeah, so it's going to be really good. I haven't spoken to him for a little while, and he's been in touch a bit. And Bethany talked to him this morning, and I got on the phone with him. And, he says, I'm happy to get out there because he's a little bit depressed because
Graham.
he has, at the moment, he just had a bit of a problem with certain personal things. And I said, well, Chris, let's make you laugh. He said, you will. You will make me laugh. I always make him laugh. So, and so we're going to do, what did I say? Yeah, Stand in Line and All Night Long. and that'll be it. Just 2 songs.
So it's not like a whole show. I thought it was going to be like.
I'm not quite sure what it's all about to be
It's the
short.
Heavy Metal Hall of Fame.
What is it?
It's the Heavy Metal
Oh,
Oh, it's the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame show
But that's cool.
somewhere.
That's really cool.
And so that's what it is.
It's at the Roxy. I think it's sold out already, but it's at the Roxy Theater.
Is it? It's at the Roxy
Oh, yeah.
Theatre here in LA.
okay, so it's like a really proper gig. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah, sort of. But it's two fucking songs. And so, hello, thank you, good night. So that'll be fun to see him because I like him very much. He's a good guy, and if I can help out with his, feeling a bit down right now, all the better.
Absolutely. So I was just thinking, when you record music nowadays, compared to, it was because before you were talking about with the Rainbow guys, how you were hurtled up in the chateau. I think it was when Ozzy, they recorded Bark at the Moon. They were like at some barn in the middle of nowhere in the UK. Like from those times, it seemed like it was pretty standard that people would record in these sort of under these like weird circumstances to create a particular sound or energy. But nowadays we got all this Pro Tools and Cubase and whatnot. Do you feel that takes away some of the magic when you record music, or?
No, I mean it is better in a way because you don't have to, get in a car and drive 10,000 miles or whatever. In fact, what happened with these? That's why we moved from the chateau to a real studio. Me and Roger Glover, and it's great for drums. Yeah, it's fantastic for drums. The ambient sound, etc. And probably for keyboards too. But it's something that I kind of miss in a way because I like the camaraderie of when we went in the studio and there was that guy and there was the other guy and the drummer and whatever, and they're all kind of laughing away and then okay, let's do a take. That's what I miss. That the
interaction
feeling. It's just great. But we don't do that anymore. Everything's done by mail, as you know. So it's like, I'll do my part here, you do your part there. But the last, Bruce actually recorded here, not in this house, but so I've got a video. I didn't go because I didn't want to put him off. So our guitar player went along to see him record the song I've written and with Conrad, our guitar player. And he filmed him. And Bruce was standing there at the mic, giving it, doing his whole thing. He was just amazing, But again, as I'm saying, we're never in the same place. It's all separate, always.
Yeah.
Because there's no need to go anywhere when you can use the computer and get fucking amazing sounds. But it can be, those amazing sounds can be turned into hell, if you don't watch it. It can be all like, whatever. And you don't have to have any kind of talent. You can be, a fucking vicar or something and just say something into a computer. Hello, good morning, how are you? And then make that into a song. Take his voice, and tune it in, and he's singing. And he's not a singer.
The latest thing I saw is that with the artificial intelligence is that you can just actually, they tell you to hum the lowest note you can, then the highest. They're going to determine for you which kind of singer you are. Oh, you're a soprano. Here we're going. What do you want your song to be about? And we're going to use your vocal and create this fucking song and stick it on Spotify.
I know.
Ridiculous.
What? And that's when the music died.
Yeah, I was some weeks ago. Spotify suggested me some artist, and I listened to it. And I thought, no, it's not. It's pretty good, some hard rocky stuff. And I was listening to it, and after I heard about 4 tracks, and again, it actually sounded quite well. There was just something about it, and I couldn't put my finger on it. So I started Googling the artist, and I can't remember the name now. But turns out that it isn't an artist; it's AI generated. The whole band is just computer generated. There's no singer, no guitars, no nothing. And I was just like, can I delete this again? It just felt wrong. It's terrible.
Violated. And
Yeah, I really did. Yeah,
Yeah, no humans needed. You know, it's
no,
fucking incredible.
yeah.
That's what I just basically said is anyone can do it. Anyone might. The dog could go in there and go "Ooh," and do something, and they could turn that into music. And you don't need anybody playing anything. It's
no.
No.
I saw.
completely.
I think I sent Dennis some like a month or two ago. I sent him a. It was actually a Yngwie song.
Yeah,
You don't remember? I don't forget from his trilogy album, and
yeah,
somebody had fed it to AI and turned it into like a funk soul classic 70s song.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And the worst part was that it actually sounded good.
It was really good. It
yeah.
was scaringly
It
good,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember who it was that they took part of one of my songs that I recorded years ago. That was like a disco song. It was a song that was written by Robin Gibb, and they put it was in some kind of a what was it? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I can't remember who the artist was.
Yeah, it was weird. I
Totally
thought,
out of the
what?
bar genre.
What? What the hell is that? But it's just a little snippet of the song, and it was like a disco song that I didn't want to record at first. It was a song called "Warm Ride," and it did very well for me in Australia and other parts of the world, part of Europe, not in America, of course. And there you go. But it was like, wait a minute, what is that? How did they get hold of that to put that into that song? You know, there you go. Anybody can do it. And
Yeah, my brain is unable to comprehend how there was a while ago where I wanted to
yeah,
use a song for a video,
yeah,
and I put it into this program, and it just took every single track and it separated the whole song, so I could remove the vocals. If I just
yeah,
wanted the bass line, I could
yeah,
get that. And I was like, how is that even possible?
yeah,
How is it able to decipher all these little elements and make them perfect,
yeah.
separate? It's
It's amazing. I
super
mean,
weird.
yeah,
yeah.
it's amazing. I mean, it's great. How now you can isolate everything. You know, if you want to. I really want to hear what that guy's playing here for
Yeah.
a keyboard part or something. Man, you can just take it from any fucking recording and go, oh, there it is. The Beatles, especially, the way
Yeah.
they recorded, years ago, you could just take one side, because like whatever it was, stereo mix and yada yada. So you could take
Oh
one
no.
side and you could hear all the vocals and not the track itself, the band. And it was like, oh God, they missed a harmony there, and you never notice that in the final mix. But it's kind of like that. You can take a drum part and listen to it. Okay, he's like, he just that there. And I'm just tuning my headphones in again. Yeah, it's me being so deaf is bloody awful. I can hardly hear you sometimes, and so this doodad. Oh, you can't see it, but I can do the volume and the high end. I'm not. I
I,
don't hear high end very well, so it's
But
marvelous,
is but is that because of actual like hearing damage, or is it because of the sinus issues you're having right now?
It's hearing damage. Yeah,
Yeah.
over the years, I used to have well, I still do. I have my headphones really loud, and Cozy did too. That's that kind of a thing that we're known for. In fact, when Bruce did his vocal a couple of weeks ago, he had really loud headphones as well. It's the thing because because you're in the studio, you've got this fucking things on your head. You want to feel some kind of excitement, and that's the only for me. That's the only way I can get that feeling of the band is to have it loud, you know,
yeah.
and that's damaged my ears, obviously. And I
But
mean,
you also have your internal vocals to like they have to
yeah,
fit the noise. So it's kind of hard to record with not being incredibly loud. If you're recording vocals, you want
yeah,
that like synergy going on or whatever it's called, So yeah,
yeah. What
it's really
I'm doing right now is I'm taking one headphone off and cupping my hand like this instead of having both of them on because you can hear this,
yeah.
sound effects. And so the best idea for me to do because I'm so freaking deaf is to do that. It's an old Robin Gibb trick. I mean, you
Yeah.
notice He always says that when he's on stage with the Bee Gees. He's always got his hands cupped like that. And it's like definitely.
It really works actually just doing
Yeah.
one of them. Speaking of doing, like, I only do background vocals, but when
Yeah.
I do that and do this, it just occurred to me, you did
Yeah.
some pretty incredible background vocals for a
Yeah.
Danish band
Good
a
grief.
while back. A band called Pretty Mates, and the album was called Future World, and it's a really, really like one of those classic, stable hard rock, heavy metal Danish albums.
Yeah.
I was really blown away when I saw that Graham Bonnet did the backing vocals for Future World.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big deal
Yeah.
around here. So,
Yeah. With Ronnie was
Yeah.
the thing.
yeah.
Yeah. And I remember hearing I'm doing the backing vocals with him, and he started laughing. I said, "What's up?" He says, "It's such fun doing this, isn't it?" I'm such a fucking idiot, and I was making him laugh because I cannot take anything seriously. Everything's like, there's always some funny elements in whatever happens in your life, and doing that, his head is like here, mine's, hello, it's like on each side of the microphone. Hello, how are you? Yeah. But it was good fun. I was there for recording with them for about a week. Eddie Kramer was the producer, I remember. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. It was good. It was in Woodstock, in fact. By the time I get to Woodstock, Yeah.
I thought that was a fun little trivia to get in because I know a lot of Danish people watching this wouldn't necessarily know about it, and I didn't know about this until a month ago when I accidentally stumbled upon it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
I mean, it was fun, and I got paid for it too. Bloody hell!
What?
wow, you hear that, Ritchie Blackmore? Pretty Mates actually paid him.
Bloody hell.
So you made more money on backing vocals for Pretty Mates than you did with Rainbow. That's rough.
Okay.
Listen, Graham.
Hello.
I don't want to take up more of your time. We've already spent like considering the fact that we already recorded once and it just turned into an utter disaster. We've spent multiple hours together. So I very much appreciate you taking the time to appear on this tiny little podcast. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, that's
That's me.
And to Dennis, yes.
That's me.
Thomas and Dennis. I appreciate this. I mean, anytime, really.
Absolutely. Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
You're welcome. Because you're fun.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Last time when we ended, Dennis and I were just stuck around for a bit and was just talking, and both of us was like we could listen to Graham talk and tell stories and jokes all day. It was.
Well, don't pepper me that.
It was no, but it was really.
Bloody stories. Yeah. Well, yeah. Nobody admits to some of them. It's I mean, you think about it. You're on the road for like 6 months of the year with a band, and you go, "Oh crap!" And so many things happen that are kind of funny or horrible. And then before I was in a band, there was all these things that happened, during my career, and that were funny. I mean, everybody has something ridiculous happen to them, no matter what they do. I mean, like my dad or my mum. It's they have funny stories too. And my dad was a farmer. My mum worked in a hotel, but there were things that happened that were amusing, and they never spoke about them. Like when you're doing something like this, an interview like this, it all comes out just to make the day longer, I think, or to make it more interesting. Because it is boring talking about who's your favorite guitar player. Nobody.
Absolutely. But I think this format of podcasting is so much more. What's the word? I think when you're doing like a standard formal interview where there's a bunch of questions lined up, it tends to get very stiff. But doing it this way, it's just just a bunch of friends hanging out and just sharing memories and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like it because it is so casual, and that's why I'm saying anytime, and I'm going to get back into the studio with Conrad, wherever he is. Is he here?
He just ate lunch. I heard him.
Oh, is he? Oh, our guitar player has left the building. Yes.
Or
All right, see you later.